By the way, I am sporting my Tennessee flag shirt today because I am so proud to live here in East Tennessee. And that's why I wanted to take some time this month of February, when it's the time of love and Valentine's Day, to focus on 4 of the small towns that are part of East Tennessee. And our first one for this week is Sweetwater. Is the sweetest town in Tennessee, Sweetwater. So I recently reached out in social media and I asked some of my friends and acquaintances, what is your favorite thing about Sweetwater? And here are some of the results that I got. Sweetwater is part of Monroe County, Tennessee. It's right off of I-75, which means you're close enough to get to a bigger city if you need to, but you still have that small, quaint hometown feel. And I have to say, almost every response that I got said something about the quaintness of Sweetwater. Number 10. The Sweetwater Duck Pond. Now, if you're not from around here, you probably don't know what that is. It is literally this beautiful little park in downtown Sweetwater. And there's a little walking bridge and there's ducks around and you can go and you can just sit on a bench or have a picnic lunch and listen to the ducks and watch all of the beauty in nature. Number 9 is the Sweetwater Flea Market. Yes, there's this ginormous flea market in Sweetwater, and they have a place for kids to play, and they have food to eat, and all of these wonderful booths that people and vendors set up for and can sell things, and they're open on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you want a good deal, you can head on over to the Sweetwater Flea Market. Now going to number 8, the Sweetwater Heritage Museum. This is a quaint little museum downtown that is only open for a couple of hours a day, but it has a lot of the historical facts and the history of how Sweetwater became a town. Number 7, the railroad. Yes, there is this wonderful railroad track that runs right through downtown Sweetwater. And if you're a rail fan and you like to hear the sounds of just good old-fashioned train, you will see and hear the train line Norfolk Southern come by several times a day. The 6th thing that people love about Sweetwater, Tennessee is the wonderful parks and recreation and nature trails that go all throughout Sweetwater. We've got the public pool that is open usually from about May till maybe September. And then there's lots of parks and there's trails. And we can't forget the school system. Now, I know that's not really parks and recreation, but there's a wonderful school system there. It's called Sweetwater City Schools. And if public school is kind of not your thing, there's also a great school, Cross Creek Christian School. And my friend Melissa is the head honchos over there. And so she would love to talk to you about that school as well. Number 5 are the mom and pop restaurants. Yes, we do have some restaurants in Sweetwater that are chains, but the majority of the restaurants in our little town of Sweetwater are the mom and pop restaurants like Hunter's Cafe and Bradley's. My cup runneth over. There's so many of these great mom and pop restaurants in Sweetwater. Let's go to number 4. The festivals and the parades. Sweetwater, Tennessee is such a quaint town. There are a few festivals that they have every year. There's one coming up in May. It is called Bloom's Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival. And it's kind of like it says, there's a little bit of everything. And it's almost like the festival takes over the whole city. And then we can't forget Small Town Christmas. This happens every December in Sweetwater. And different businesses and organizations set up booths. And last year at my real estate office, we did a photo booth where families could come by and get a free picture to put for their family Christmas card or whatever they wanted to use it for. And some places handed out candy and there's sleigh rides, and it's just awesome. There's also parades. The parades happen on every Independence Day and for Veterans Day. It's just another reason that Sweetwater is such that quaint little town. It's got that hometown feel. Let's go to reason number 3 why you should live in Sweetwater. Downtown. Yes, downtown Sweetwater is absolutely beautiful. Downtown Sweetwater is where all of the stuff is happening. For example, there is a gazebo downtown where you can literally, it sits right in the middle of it, and you can just go there and relax and sit and listen to the trains if you want to, or listen to the ducks. There's also the Sweetwater train car. It's a stationary train car. It's silver, and you can go by and take pictures of it. There's the visitor center. There's the Sweetwater Depot. There's a post office downtown that was built in 1938, and just going in there just gives you all the nostalgia of a good hometown feel. And we can't forget another important thing in downtown Sweetwater, and that is the Sweetwater Hospital Association. There is a fairly large hospital in Sweetwater, which is another great resource for the town of Sweetwater. Number 2, that is Main Street, Sweetwater. Yes, this is also in downtown, and in my research, a lot of people posted that they love going to the shops, they love going to the antique stores, and there's banks there, and there's those mom and pop restaurants, and there's just some really good shopping to do. And the shopping is on one side of Main Street, and then the wonderful train car and visitor center is on the other side of the street. So it's all in one central location. And also it's where my office is, so I'm a little biased to that. There's some things that happen on Main Street as well. For example, in February, there's a Sweetheart Stroll where you can go and tour some of the businesses and maybe sample some of the food. And on Main Street, it's a lot of fun. And there's also an art studio there. If you wanted to make a date of it and you wanted to do some pottery or some art, that's where you're going to go. It's downtown Main Street in Sweetwater, Tennessee. And the number 1 thing in my research that showed what is so awesome about living in Sweetwater, Tennessee, and that is the Lost Sea. The Lost Sea is a natural attraction that's located in Sweetwater, Tennessee. It is on the Guinness Book of World Records. Basically, it is this big cave. It takes about maybe an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes to go down to the caves, and you can learn about the history, how the cave was discovered. And when you get to the bottom of it, you get to see America's largest underground lake. And you get to ride a glass bottom boat and look at all the wonderful fish there. And it's just amazing. And then when you come back up, there are the Village of the Lost Sea, which basically has like a glass blower and a cafe. And there's also where you can take a wild cave tour, which is kind of where you get to see the parts that general tourists don't get to see. It's cool. And sometimes they do this special tour where you can actually spend the night in the Lost Sea. Now, I've not done this. I'm not that brave yet. But for those of you who like the thrill of it, oh, it would be amazing. Also, you can do a nature trail outside on the campus of the Lost Sea, as well as go to the general store, buy some souvenirs, eat some delicious ice cream. You can mine for gems. You can watch the glass blower. I mean, there is so much to do at the Lost Sea. And the really cool thing about it is it's only closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So those are the top 10 things of why we love Sweetwater, Tennessee. See you next week. Let me know if I can help you find a house here. I'd love to show you around.